Welcome to IELTS Listening. Today we study IELTS 20 Test 1 Part 2, Adelman Pottery. This section has 10 questions in total, all multiple choice, in 3 groups. All these questions use the skill of elimination. Listen carefully to rule out wrong options. Mastering elimination helps you spot traps and pick the right answer quickly. This talk is by a pottery studio guide. It has 3 parts about the workshop and classes. In the first part, we look at questions 11 to 16. This part covers basic info about the studio. The second part is questions 17 and 18. It talks about the pottery class schedule. The third part is questions 19 and 20. It covers the course fee and how to sign up. The structure is clear. Questions 11 to 16 are in Part 1, 17 and 18 in Part 2, and 19 and 20 in Part 3. The questions follow the recording order. Don't go back to questions you've already passed. Now, let's look at the first set of questions, questions 11 to 16. These are multiple choice. Q11. Heather says pottery differs from other art forms because A. Pots survive longer in the ground. B. Pottery is easier to make. C. Pottery is cheaper. Pause to answer. Keywords: pottery differs from other art forms. Expect a comparison between pottery and other artworks. Located in information block 1. Audio says, things like baskets and pictures don't survive in the earth in the same way that pots do. Signal word, survive in the earth, directly shows the difference. Direct given, no transition word trap. Audio directly says pots survive longer in the ground, matching option A. Options B and C are not mentioned at all in the audio, so they are eliminated. Q11 answer is A. Pots survive longer in the ground. This is the key difference from other art forms. Q12. Archaeologists sometimes identify the use of ancient pottery from what? A. The source of the clay. B. The impressions on the clay. C. The shape of the pot. Please pause the video and try this question. Keywords: identify, use. We expect to hear a description of how to determine the pot's purpose. Located in the information block. The audio says, archaeologists can tell whether the pots were for storage or cooking by examining the impressions on the clay. The signal phrase is by examining. Distractor analysis, option A. Source of clay is not mentioned for use. Option C. Shape of pot may have been lost. The audio clearly says impressions on the clay to determine use, matching option B. Q12 answer is B. Archaeologists identify the use of ancient pottery from the impressions on the clay. Q13. Some people join Heather's pottery class because they want to A. Make their work look very old. B. Become good at pottery. C. Create something that will last a long time. Please pause the video and try this question. Keywords: join, pottery class, because they want to. Expect to hear a description of why people take this class. Located in information block 2. The audio says, like our ancestors, they hope that something they create will also last longer than they do. The signal word is hope that, which directly introduces the purpose. Direct given type, no transition word trap. The audio directly says they hope their work will last a long time, matching option C. Options A, look very old, and B, become good at pottery, are not mentioned in the audio, so they are eliminated. Q13 answer is C. People hope to create something that will last a long time. Q14. What does Heather value most about being a potter? A. The concentration. B. The messiness. C. The physical benefits. Pause the video and try it yourself. Keywords: value most and potter. We expect to hear what the potter thinks is the most important thing. Located in the information block. The audio says, what I love most is the concentration you need to make a good pot. The signal phrase love most directly leads to the answer. Distractor analysis, option C. Physical benefits is mentioned but for elderly people, good exercise for hands, not what Heather values most. Option B. Messiness is what children like, not Heather. So B and C are eliminated. Q14 answer is A. Heather values most the concentration needed to make a good pot. Q15. Most of the visitors to Adelman Pottery A bring friends. B are trying pottery for the first time. C learn very quickly. Please pause the video and try this question. Keywords: most visitors, Adelman Pottery. Expect to hear a description about the visitor's background or experience. Located in the information block. The audio says, like nearly everyone who comes here, I'm sure this is the first time you will have tried the art. The signal word first time directly points to the answer. Direct given, no transition word trap. The audio directly says first time, matching option B. Options A and C are not mentioned in the audio, so they are eliminated. Q15 answer is B. Most visitors are trying pottery for the first time. Q16. What does Heather remind visitors to do? A. Put on aprons. B. Change clothes. C. Remove jewelry. Please pause the video and try it yourself. Keywords: remind, visitors, should. We expect to hear a reminder about what visitors need to do. Located in the information block. The audio says, please remove any watches, necklaces, etc., and put them somewhere safe. The signal word remove directly matches option C. Distractor analysis, option A. Aprons. The audio says they will be provided later, not a current reminder. Option B. Change clothes. The audio says clothes are old but comfortable, no requirement to change. So A and B are eliminated. Q16 answer is C. Heather reminds visitors to remove jewelry, which matches option C. Next, let's move on to the multiple choice double answer section for Q17-18. Questions 17 and 18. Which two things does the speaker mention about a household item? A. What its function is. B. When it was invented. C. Ways of keeping it safe. D. Where to put one in your home. E. What some people use instead of one. Pause the video to answer. This is a double choice question. We need to select two correct options from 5. The strategy is to check each option one by one, listen to the complete recording before concluding, and avoid making premature judgments halfway through. Option A. What its function is. The speaker explains the purpose and function of this item in detail, indicating this is mentioned. Option B. When it was invented. The recording does not mention any information about the invention time or era, so this option is not mentioned and should be eliminated. Option C. Ways of keeping it safe. Although safety-related content is mentioned, the speaker does not specifically explain how to keep it safe, only briefly touches on it, so this option is not accurate. Option D. Where to put one in your home. The speaker mentions the placement of this item, but only as background information, not as a main point about where it should be placed, so this option does not match. Option E. What some people use instead of one. The recording clearly states that some people use other items to replace this household item, confirming this option. The first correct answer is A. The speaker explains the function of this item in detail, so option A is correct. Answer stamp, Q17-18A. The second correct answer is E. The speaker mentions that some people use alternatives, so option E is also correct. Answer stamp, Q17-18E. Final answers are A and E. Next, let's move on to the multiple choice double answer section for Q19-20. Questions 19 and 20. Which two statements about the items are correct? Option A. Some are hard to hold. Option B. Some are worth buying. Option C. Some are essential items. Option D. Some have memorable names. Option E. Some are available for use by participants. Pause the video to try it yourself. This is a multiple choice double question. We need to pick two correct options from 5. The strategy is to check each option one by one against the audio, and wait until you have heard all the information before making a final decision. Option A. Some are hard to hold. The audio mentions these items, but it never says they are difficult to hold or carry. This information is not present in the text at all, so it is a not mentioned trap. We eliminate it. Option B. Some are worth buying. The audio does mention these items, but it does not say they are worth buying. The speaker simply introduces the items without giving any purchasing advice or value judgment. This is also not mentioned, so we eliminate it. Option C, some are essential items. The audio clearly states that some of these items are essential items. This matches option C exactly, so option C is correct. Option D, some have memorable names. The audio gives the names of these items, but it does not say they are memorable or easy to remember. The speaker just provides the names without commenting on how easy they are to recall. This is not mentioned, so we eliminate it. Option E, some are available for use by participants. The audio clearly states that some of these items are available for use by participants. This matches option E exactly, so option E is correct. The first correct answer is option C. The audio clearly says some of these items are essential items. Answer stamp, Q19 Q20C. The second correct answer is option E. The audio clearly says some of these items are available for use by participants. Answer stamp, Q19 Q20E. Okay, we have finished all the questions. Let's look back at the key skills we used today. Today we saw this situation many times. The recording mentioned an option, but then used extra details to say it was wrong. This skill is called strong distractors and modified details. The key is to not choose an answer quickly when you hear a modifier. You must wait for the full description. Take question 11 for example. The recording first said pottery is easy to learn, but then it quickly added but it takes years to master. So the answer was not easy to learn, but it takes time. Another common situation is that the answer does not come right away. The speaker first gives some background, and then gives the key information. This skill is called delayed information and limited modifiers. The key is to be patient and listen to the whole sentence before you decide. For example, question 13. The recording talked a lot about pottery is a social activity, but at the end it said, but actually, many people do it alone for relaxation. So the answer was not social activity, but relaxing alone. In matching questions, the recording often says keywords very quickly or very softly. This makes them hard to hear. This skill is called weak pronunciation and connected speech. The key is to practice the pronunciation of the options before you listen, especially the words that are easy to miss. For example, question 15. The word kiln in the recording was said very quickly. It sounded like kin. Many students thought it meant family. So we need to know that kiln means a special oven for pottery. This way, the pronunciation will not trick us. One final reminder. These skills often appear together in the IELTS listening test. When you do the questions, do not only think about one skill. Be flexible. Listen carefully and analyze what you hear. Finally, let's learn some very important words from this listening. They will help you understand the original text better. The first word is survive. It means to continue to exist. The text says baskets and pictures don't survive in the earth. This means baskets and pictures cannot be kept in the ground. This word is very common in archaeology topics. The second word is remove. It means to take something off. The text says remove any watches, necklaces. This means take off your watches and necklaces. This word often appears in safety instructions in the listening test. That is all for this section. I hope it was helpful. See you in the next lesson.